Well, Pete, we were just having an interesting discussion here in the newsroom about ideological politics.
Yeah.
We're not going to burden the people at home with too much of it.
No, we're not. But you know what? Politics and sports run parallel.
Yeah, they do.
No,
and there's lots of politics in sports.
There's a winner and there's a loser. That's just the way it works. And it's kind of cool. And unfortunately for the softball team from the Rio Grande Valley, San Benito Lady Hounds, they found a dead end there, man.
Yeah.
In the state semifinal.
What a dead end, I guess, first of all, to say. I mean, here's a team that's gone the farthest in the history of the Valley, went up to the big time in Austin, 5-2. Heck, they had a lead. They had a lead without a hit. They scrapped Valley style to get 2 runs, and then those guys exploded for 1 inning.
I watched that game, and the turning point was the play at the plate.
Yeah.
Everybody seems to be talking about it. If you don't know what is happening, she was safe. You could see it on
for
the replay.
Whom? San Benito runner was safe?
No. The
Louisville
runner was out.
Oh, okay. But
and that started, just opened the floodgates and started going in and started going out. And like they just lost their composure off a bad call.
And that's the key. That's the key in this situation, is that something bad's going to happen to your team every time. No team goes unscathed without that moment. I call it the the point of danger, or the danger zone. They just didn't handle it as well as they could have. The fact is, golly, man, I mean, and when you're up in that environment and you go that far, I mean, it's hard not to be affected by a call that you don't think went in your favor, or that didn't go in your favor that you think was poor.
And the horrible part, so I'm watching it at home because
that's amazing technology, by the way. That's a smart TV.
And we were just there, right? When I were watching it, and like they showed the replay, and like
so it was relatively obvious.
It was extremely obvious, extremely obvious.
Here's what I want to know: are there any Valley refs in that statewide pool of refs that do games?
I doubt that.
And of course, I'm being a conspiracy starter.
No,
I mean, I just want to know. Why wouldn't there be some of us?
Exactly. And you know what? The home plate umpire.
And you have to assume they're competent individuals, for God's sake. I mean,
my opinion, she was doing a lousy job.
Really?
Yeah. She could call the game a little bit better.
And that affects the play if you let it.
Yeah.
You don't have to let it. The stronger team will generally win, especially if psychologically it doesn't have the moment. Hey, listen, when they scored 2 runs off of San Benito early, or when San Benito scored 2 runs off of them, they could have cratered, but they didn't.
Exactly.
They made a few errors, but they got it back together. So I'm not making excuses for either team. I'm saying how you handle the match.
And it was a great pitching matchup.
Yeah.
It really was.
Little Amber was doing good?
Amber Hustle was doing good, but Mary Beth Gorsuch just had...
A freshman?
Yeah, a freshman.
My God, a freshman, like Herschel Walker back in 1980.
They won the state title, man.
Yeah, they did. They went on to win.
They beat Kingwood. Yeah.
Listen to what we've been talking about here. The Final Four state softball tournament, and one of our teams was in it. I actually feel like this sports year kind of proved to the rest of the state that, we're pretty much there. We're not great, the best, but we're there.
But it's with the times. You evolved,
Soccer?
Your generations get bigger, stronger, and you're ready to compete with the state.
Track. I was running down the list of all the people that we have that did great this year. I just want to send out a proud thank you to all the kids and everything for participating, because they did a great job.
Yeah, no,
excellent.
It was really fun.
I hate that it's over.
Yeah, no,
it can't be over.
I was thinking the other day, reminiscing. It was a really fun year to cover sports. I mean, you saw a lot of great things.
I saw a lot of soccer games. I'm going to see a lot more next year.
So yeah, I don't know. So that San Benito team, I mean,
it's the best team in the history of the Valley.
Like you said, best team in the history of the Valley, and a couple of calls their way could have changed. Maybe they would have won it all. And you know what? I watched the Kingwood game also, because it was on right before.
What were they like? Team and pretty tough?
And they didn't look tough.
Yeah.
They had it was one inning where they went at it, and they went at it hard. And
that one bad inning.
It was just
In softball, the momentum, and I think I also understand more why they were affected. Softball's a game of momentum. Momentum, you get going, you get some, and then something happens, and whoa, what happened?
Yeah,
3 runs right there.
And it was it, man. Infield. I mean, San Benito got Louisville infield good at the beginning, and just got them, and just error after error, and
crafty team can run the bases,
and that's what it was.
Underrated part of that team was base running.
Yeah,
all ran the bases.
And then that play happened, man, and it was just boom.
Yeah, well, we had a couple of those this year. Sheridan will forever go to its grave as a baseball group, saying, they'll have this one. I'll tell you, man, I hate to hear 2 incidences where enough people are talking about a bad call to make it part of the news.
Yeah.
And that means that it exists. So for that, I am very sorry.
Yeah, and
to both teams.
So these umpiring organizations, you know what I mean?
Like I said, let's see if it's spread ecumenically around the state.
Organization, you know what I mean?
You would think that, we better get some guys to go up and do their games, because I'm not saying they have something against us, but maybe we're not used to their style of calling.
Exactly.
They're not used to our style of play or what.
And coincidentally, like you say, their style of calling, that home plate umpire, or I'm sorry, the third base umpire, because that was another thing. These state crews have the full umpire.
Wow, wow.
You know what I mean?
They down the baselines like in the World Series with
three
the
people.
coach.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They had a 3-man team instead of a 2-man team or 2-person.
You can see more stuff.
Yeah, and one umpire just completely kept eye on the foot of each pitcher.
Wow.
So at the beginning,
in other words, the illegal pitch is really going to be illegal.
Exactly. At the beginning of the game, Amber's foot was coming up. Her foot was coming.
Did they cite her for it? Did they go out?
Yeah, it was ball. They called a ball.
And that gets in the kid's head too sometimes.
And it did, because she had to change her mechanics. She's been pitching like that all year. I was being told she was in the back, just each time they would go to bat, she would be practicing.
I can name you some other teams that have had that problem, and I won't. Just to suffice to say,
Yeah.
it's when we go up there, we have to have done the way they do it all year, so that until they come down here.
And but to all fairness, he was making the right call. He was making the right call, and they would do the replay, and you would see her foot come up, and she just had to adjust a little bit, and maybe that got in her head.
I'm going to tell you what, Pete, as a postscript to this, I never want to say the ref cheated us, this and that. If you have a legitimate grievance, you can air it. If it doesn't see the light of day, you just got to move on with dignity and say, hey, we had a great season.
Yeah.
I don't want it to be
season, and I think they did move on with dignity. There's no
Final Four.
Yeah.
Final Four. First time ever.
Yeah, that was great. So
now to what? Football?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've got some scattered news. Let's stick on the diamond.
Oh, okay.
Bickerton, he no longer the coach of Sharyland.
Yeah, that sent shockwaves through the local community, sports community.
Yeah.
I had actually kind of heard about it before. Don't ask me how. I'm not usually a good chismoso, but I had it. The fact is that's a coveted job. Coveted job with a double-edged sword, because yes, you go to the top Valley sports program, I would say, but it's going to be 2 next year. Then what? So you lose a talent, you lose some administration. In other words, they're going to be too busy with 2 schools to do as good a job as they did with 1 right off the bat. So it's going to be a little difficult. Split the talent too.
It's still going to be a statewide search.
Gee, yeah. I mean, like I wouldn't go there. Can I please be the coach of Sharyland?
Yeah.
But there's going to be some great names in that.
No,
I know
there really is going to be great names and local talent as well. But you know what I mean. Out of state, cost of living is down here. I mean,
everybody knows about Sharyland,
yeah.
Upstate. So if that's a good job that came open, shoot, if I was up in Dallas, kind of like the guy came from Tamac High.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that. We need an influx of people. Any area needs a little bit of new ideas from people. It's good stuff. As long as they don't try to change it.
Exactly. And you see, that's how you evolve as a community. You bring other ideas in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
Yeah.
I like it. Well, we'll see who that is. I mean,
but he did a great job.
Man,
great coach, great thing. Great program.
Tough. I always thought he should be over at Pan Am sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a good pitch there for a while. He looks like a college coach. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a big old boy still.
Yeah,
Golly, man. Wonder if he can still throw.
So now,
Geography teacher, I come to find out.
Well,
Which I admire you for, sir, because we're woefully inadequate around the country. You're doing all you can. It's good.
So now he's just going to be throwing a reel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that could be a worse thing. A highly successful coach now goes down the island, kicks his feet back in the water and zzz, slick.
With a little Portisville on the side. That's just speculation. That's not even speculation.
He's a speculator.
Well, I mean, that's
carpetbagger out of here.
That's not even there. Anyway, so yeah, another person left the Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shea Patterson.
Shea Patterson leaving the Valley. I wish him the best, his family, the whole 9 yards. Part of me has been harboring a sneaking suspicion that there was a little bit of opportunism in what happened, and I may be wrong, and I don't know the people, so this is personal speculation. I just didn't want to get the feeling he was shopping around looking for a place to go in the Valley, because I thought that kind of demeaned us, right?
Yeah.
If that was the case. If not, then hell, maybe become an All-American. Maybe he remembers us fondly. I just got the impression, I hear every week he's going here, he's going. Maybe it was that self-generated buzz or whatever, the public relations.
Yeah, it was all of us, on the sidelines, especially at the
Ooh,
spring
come
ball.
play for our team.
At the spring ball, so, is he coming? Is he going to be here? Whatever, and...
That's not fair to the kid, man,
not.
because it gives him unreal expectations. He may not go to Arizona. He may not go to CW Post. Who knows? The fact is, this kind of thing is happening more and more in sports because sports is more institutionalized than it ever was and more competitive. And so I'm not saying these are good people. I got nothing against. But, the shopping around of that stuff, if it were the case, that would bother me.
What sports is also even more of these days is a brand. I mean, you've got to work your brand since day one. You know what I mean?
Him and Hidalgo and Scott Ford seem like a match made in heaven, boy.
Who's gonna have my cleats? What jersey am I gonna wear?
Yeah.
Is it gonna be Nike, Adidas? Who has the contract?
Right. Exactly. An attorney will find out how to make them individual contracts instead of team.
Exactly.
I'll tell you this. I'll talk more about Shea Patterson when he can go to Colorado and then play 9 years in the NFL like Corey Devlin. Now, I think Patterson's a heck of a ball player. He's a freshman. I like the way he moves. You know, he's got a pretty good, very accurate passer. But, you know, to me, the jury's still out. He's a freshman. He had 1,400 yards. Okay, well, you know, Detmer had 4,300 one year. So, I mean, you know, we'll see.
It's definitely young. He's only a freshman, like we're saying. You know, he's got 3 more years. Maybe we'll follow his career in Louisiana. But best of luck to him. You know,
Louisiana, get ready for some hard-hitting football, man. You think you saw some speed? Just wait. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, where does LSU mostly recruit?
I'm telling you. Yeah, you see purple and gold, you know you're in trouble, man.
Yeah.
Well,
so, yeah, we had graduations also.
Graduation is always a neat thing, man. It's Sunday, it's hot, who cares? You can dress up in your finest anyway. We're losing in our city, and I'm sure in McAllen the same way, a lot of great senior athletes. I mean, people that, you know, young people who we watched for years and cheered on, secretly, quietly, of course,
sure,
not the media.
Yeah,
you know.
no,
but I mean, the community has taken ownership of some of the success that Edinburg has had, and it's pretty slick. A bunch of softball kids are going. 4 or 5 are like the big timers, the last of the big timers. Now we're going to see whether these young kids can come up and be as good as Miranda Hinojosa and Sammy, RC Bun.
Yeah, you know, Greg, you know, when you cover an area, I mean, as long as you have, I mean, you've covered it since
1912. I came over with Titanic.
I think since the beginning of time, maybe. But you become a homer. There is no other way around.
Gladly, I always tell people I'm not going to root for them or write it that way, but in the back of my mind, I like them teams to win.
Yeah.
Why do you want to go see about 4 0-10 teams play? That's horrible.
I mean, you become a homer. You want it's like
Harry Carey.
Yeah.
Remember Harry Carey with the Cubs?
I know.
I'm going to fall out on it.
And he probably did. Anyway, but you become a homer, and
you see it from your perspective.
You still stay objective, though.
Well, yeah, the work must be objective. Your personal feelings, if you can compartmentalize the fact, like put it this way, when any Valley team plays someone from out of the Valley, I'll be on the sidelines yelling like a jerk, man. I don't care. I mean, not like real loud. I mean, I totally want us to win.
I'm going to miss watching, obviously, Trez. He was just an outstanding
Trez, Garrett Sharp, Leah Brown. That's your big 3 right now. In my mind, I was coming over here, I'm like, those 3, and there are about 6 or 7 peripheral others. God, we will not see their like that often. Yeah. You know, we really won't. Leah Brown is a once-in-a-generation athlete. It's amazing. She really is. I feel like she's the best woman athlete or girls athlete in the history of the Valley, and there have been some great.
Yeah.
I'm going to start a barrage of letters saying, remember Agnes De La Rosa, 1980. No, I wasn't there yet. Yeah. So, Garrett, though, man, I miss Garrett Sharp.
He would just hit people. That was a lot of fun.
He played like a Dick Butkus type or an old school football player. Like that kind of guy needs to play on dirt and grass and have blood all over. Yeah. I don't care what the trainer
He would just run through the...
Heck yeah.
That's what
and kind of kick you on the... If you're in his way, he would kick you in the back on the way over. Not like trying to hurt somebody. Jack Lambert for the Steelers was that way. Yeah. He was the one that threw Cliff Harris down in the Super Bowl. Remember when he taunted him after Durrella missed a field goal and Lambert just jacked him and all of a sudden the Cowboys were like, oh, we're in the game, right? You got to have some punks on your team, man. And good punks, I mean. You know, guys who are hitters.
And
not scared of them.
And the beauty about that is all of them off their respective fields or tracks were
normal people,
model citizens. Really.
Yeah.
I mean, congratulations to everybody. I know they're going to do great in college. And
and we're going to follow the record was set this year for a number of scholarships and/or preferred walk-on signings in the city of Edinburg. It was an amazing amount of kids, 20 or 30 something, and we just poured them out. This was a great senior class, and they best go represent us well. I know they will.
No, of course they will. You don't really hear the stories of
college is college.
Yeah, I mean that happens. What happens? So you were at some Roadrunner games.
The Roadrunners are going to be a good team. Right now, 3-7 overall, but they're starting to play better. They were really green. That was a green team at the beginning. I mean, Owazi Canseco, the manager, was just moving with them a step at a time because a lot of these guys, they're really young. They haven't played a lot of professional baseball. They got a couple of veterans. By the way, Eric Gonzalez is back.
I saw that.
Gonzo is back, and he's always been fun. He was a great high school football player at Lafayette. Do not miss your bet there. He's playing first base right now. Julio Castro, the closer. I think he's the all-time leader in saves in the franchise history. I don't know the number. It's like 70-something. It's a lot. So those 2 guys you'll recognize. And there's a lot of young people who I find to be very pleasant. Guys mainly from college, good ball players. It's a different group than we've had in years past. We had older professionals, Dominicanos. We had a bunch of Puerto Ricans. So I mean, it's a little bit different. The age is younger, and they need a lot of seasoning. But I like their spirit, and having Jose Canseco's brother is interesting. And that's the last time I'm going to call him that because I know he wants to be known as his own person. And this is his shot. That's good.
Yeah, man, good for him.
1,900 at the first game, which is a good crowd. Last night was about 1,100, and Sunday night, you never know. I've seen them worse. You just got to make sure to get out there for Thursday, Friday, Saturday because the ballpark is fun. This, of course, is the end of the infomercial on behalf of the Edinburg Roadrunners. No, but I got it covered. But I don't want nobody to be in the stands. Come to the games already. Have fun.
But you know, Thursdays have always been a nice staple there for
Thursdays. That's right.
If you know what it is, we're not condoning any underage anything like that.
No, not at all. I would just say that the players look forward to Thursday because there are people getting rowdy with them, and not just the mascot. You know?
So we'll see what's up. What else is going on?
They're going to be in town another plug here. I'm getting paid by the minute. Yeah, I'm kidding. They're going to be in town all month. So we're talking about from now. I think their last home game is July 3rd. Then they come back again in August. So go see the Roadrunners.
Especially go see them against.
I'll take your picture and put you in the paper.
Yeah.
I got great fan shots this week. Yeah, not bad. Little bunch of little kids.
Yeah.
A little kid team
That's
would come to the game. Yeah, it's not bad. It's cool. Them players like that, man, because they're young men. They like to interact and act like grown-ups and be thought of as a baseball player. It's good, man. It's cool. You know,
it's professional.
That's right.
Yeah.
These are the guys. Hey, to our little kids in the valley, that's like, you know, what do they know about the major leagues? I mean, they're 2 years old. This is a baseball player. It's great, man. And just to see their eyes, it's like, oh man, I wish that was me. I wish I was 2.
Yeah.
Just once.
Just once.
I know. No, only man ever wanted to be a 2-year-old on live, whatever this is, television. All right, so what else?
That's pretty much it. We've run down a pretty much good list of things this week.
I want to ask you one thing as we go away. You think Canelo has a chance? Please, God.
Yes and no.
If he could beat Mayweather,
that's
why I'd walk on my hands and knees in Las Vegas. Man.
I've already had like 3 people asking me, "Hey man, let's book the flight. Let's go. Let's go."
You gotta do it now, man. I mean, it's a now thing. It's gonna be the biggest fight of the year.
Yeah, it really is, and it's gonna be a big payday for both.
Is he ready?
I would hope so. I mean, he's got a lot to prove. Mayweather just stands there, and the thing about Mayweather, he'll get a few in, good ones in, and then he'll just back off. He's that type of defensive fighter. It's fine. I mean, he gets the job done.
He lures you in, and you can't hit him right, and you waste your energy, and you don't score. So what's the way to fight him? If Canelo weight back on him like that, then they're going to do 12 rounds of dancing. Or 10. How much do they? I don't even know. They're not 15 no more.
Yeah,
I was back in the day when the 15 rounds. The last man standing was just Frazier knocking Ali on his hand.
It's going to be 12 rounds and
September 16th?
No, it's.
I wish. Why did it's 14th? It's the 14th. Why did they do that? Come on, Canelo.
It's definitely that week.
Oh, you got a broken wrist. You got to have 2 days more. You know, put it on DC. That would be great. That would have been 16th de September.
No, that would have been.
That would be amazing.
Las Vegas would probably explode.
Yeah, indeed, and it may anyway.
Yeah.
I hope he wins, man. But you know what? I just have this really bad feeling in the pit of my stomach about it. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, go Canelo, I guess. I don't know.
Of course, I love that guy, man. I'm a total homer. I want him to win.
I really can't stand Mayweather.
It's hard to stand Mayweather, but you have to recognize, not you, but anyone.
No, you do. You have
he
to recognize
will go down in history as one of the greatest fighters ever. He's not no Sugar Ray Leonard because he can't hit. All right, well, so Pete Pettis, Greg Selber, talking sports. The summer editions are going to be interesting.
A little weird, yeah. We don't have that many sports to talk about, but there are.
We'll make some up.
Yeah.
And in Valley Badminton last week, Lafayette defeated Lafayette.
Cricket, man. Let's just go.
Cricket.
I think let's just find somebody who does.
Fantastic idea, good old boy.
Someone
we got to get out of here. This is it.
Cricket league. All right.
We're out.